You're watching RTV News with me, Jane Mutoni. The former cultivators of Pachuri and those who are still trying to grow the crop in Rusizi district are requesting the local leaders and those in charge to solve the issues found in its cultivation for it is to be productive. Genitourinary specialists say prostate cancer and penile cancer are the leading male cancers. Welcome to the news in details. Now, the former cultivators of Pachuri and those who are still trying to grow the crop in Rusizi district are requesting the local leaders and those in charge to solve the issues found in its cultivation for it is to be productive. Now, leaders in Rusizi assure farmers that they are going to deal with it. Prince Manzi has more on this story. Genitourinary specialists say prostate cancer and penile cancer are the leading male cancers. Dr. Edwin Ngendahayo, a genitourinary specialist at King Faisal Hospital, say that due to the fact that these diseases do not immediately show symptoms, most of the men suffering from genital cancer get a diagnosis when it's too late.
Cancer ya penile nkuko navuze ikunze guhera ku mutwe w'igitsina.
Penile cancer starts on the foreskin on the male genital part. You feel a pimple especially on those who are not circumcised. One will notice a pimple on the foreskin or small wound that has refused to heal. Many of our patients come to us when the symptoms are very significant, as the pimple has expanded, pus coming out, or when the wound has become big because they took long to come to the hospital. This is why we advise to go to the hospital once they notice such signs. We also urge clinics not to take long trying to treat such symptoms if they can't provide the diagnosis, because for us, we take a sample from the wound and examine it. When people with a small wound or big wound on their genital take long, go to the hospital immediately. The wound eats up the male genital to a point it's no longer there, because we've witnessed cases where they are no longer there. So once we diagnose the wound, we remove that part. The shape of the genital will change, but it will be able to function. Or if the wound is big, we cut off the part of that patient can remain with something to help the function in terms of urinating and performing sexually depending on the part that has remained. But if the wound covers the whole of his genital part, then we have no choice but to remove the whole of it.
Dr. Ngendahayo says that another cancer that is still very common in men is the prostate. Circumcision and good hygiene are some of the ways to prevent genital cancer in men.
Nuko dukunze kuvuga nyine mu Kinyarwanda ngo mfite prostate twese turayifite abagabo ariko narwaye prostate narwaye mwiki.
With prostate disease, the passage of urine narrows, hence an individual not being able to urinate properly. The other one is prostate cancer, whereby urinating is difficult to a critical level. So one wouldn't know if it's cancer or it is prostate disease. So with prostate disease, or what we call BPH, is treatable with medicines or surgery if needed. When prostate disease is showing signs of risking to become cancer, we start treating it like cancer and do a thorough cleaning inside the foreskin so that the bacteria don't pile up, hence resulting to a cancer. Most of these patients are elderly men from the villages that are unaware of cleaning the genital parts. Getting circumcised when you are older does not protect one from genital cancer, but rather research has proven that it's no more efficient when it's done earlier or during the teenage stage.
Ibyago byo kwandura kanseri y'igitsina cy'umugabo bisaba ko bikorwa utararenza ya myaka y'ubugimbi. Ubushakashatsi bwakozwe bwerekana ko ubikoze mbere y'imyaka y'ubugimbi niho bikurinda.
Those residing near parks point out that those whose livelihood depends on the tourism sector have benefited from its resumption and are reaping plenty of benefits. Precious Kirezi has this report.
Prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Ndabaruhuye Center, located in Kinigi, frequented by tourists visiting the park, had a lot of houses that have now been renovated into more of a modern setting. Those residing in the area have expressed the minimal hope they had for the tourism sector. However, they have been filled with newfound solace in the fact that since tourism activities have resumed, they have received more tourists visiting the park.
We
didn't think we'd ever see a tourist around here. We didn't think that there would be tourists visiting again, but we're pleased with their return. We're glad that our businesses will profit from their presence again. Since Kinigi serves as one of the most prominent tourism locations in Rwanda and therefore a key factor in the economy, appropriate infrastructure like quality hotels had to be put in place, as well as exclusive production of wheat and Irish that contribute significantly to the country's economy. Those who conduct businesses in the area are also of the view that wages are on the rise. After the pandemic has somehow subsided, those who provide services to the tourists, like drivers for example, are well compensated and their incomes are passed on to us one way or another. Following the strides that were meant to improve the tourism sector that was hindered by the pandemic, two research facilities with the intention to enhance the tourism sector were established in Musanze. The Ellen DeGeneres campus of the Diane Fossey Gorilla Fund, for example, was constructed in close proximity with the mountains Gahinga, Muhabura, and Sabyinyo. There also happens to be a community of gorilla doctors whose member states include Uganda, the DRC, and Rwanda, with headquarters located in Musanze district. The director of the Ellen DeGeneres campus in Rwanda has pointed out that the institution has very well-funded, equipped laboratories that could easily facilitate the broad research of the gorilla ecosystem. We have 6 labs that have different functions. They're designed to facilitate scientific research, especially for University of Rwanda's biology students, which is coupled with a training and capacity program that will engage student groups from Rwanda and abroad. The tourism sector is currently back on track, and the income it generates has been shared with those residing close to parks, as confirmed by Musanze's deputy mayor in charge of economic development. We have noticed that hotels are making new hires and training their employees. Hotels have gone back to regular pre-pandemic operations from my observation. Over 300 residents depend on the tourism sector for their incomes, and we're glad that they're able to return to that. Those residing close to the parks have joined in the preparation of the highly anticipated gorilla naming ceremony, Kwitizina. Over 350 gorillas have been named in previous ceremonies. Precious Kirezi, RTV News.
Those who require motor vehicle inspection services, commonly referred to as control technique, are happy about the fact that branches have been opened all over the country, because helping to reduce the time spent waiting for vehicles to be inspected. Nurieth Agasaro has this report.
In Kigali, at the headquarters of the Motor Vehicle Inspection Center, Karangwa Samuel monitors how his vehicle is inspected. He and the colleague who took his vehicle to control technique are pleased with how quickly they receive services.
When you arrive, all you have to do is to wait in this waiting room while keeping an eye on your car. They claim that I must go to the garage to fix the foot brake. As you can see, they gave me an appointment yesterday. Now I come and pass without any problem.
In 2008, the Rwanda National Police had only launched technical control in Kigali until the year 2020, when Musanze, Huye, and Rwamagana departments were also established. Residents of those areas are grateful to have been reached by those services and clearly remember the journey and the money they spent coming to the checkpoint in Kigali. But now it is going to make them use their time well.
ariko inyungu ya mbere ni ugukoresha igihe neza. Cyo nicyo cya mbere.
The first benefit is the efficient use of time, and the second benefit is financial, because traveling to Kigali was quite expensive, especially now that gas prices have increased, and the ticket for going and coming back plus control reaches to almost 50,000. When the car is here at home, I go to the control quickly, and when they discover that my car has a problem, they promptly tell me and head off to fix it. Before it came here, it was very hard for us. We used to go to Kigali or wait for the time they will send it to Gisenyi. Now you can ask for the appointment by tomorrow. We'll check your car and give to you, and the arrival will be easy for you without using a lot of fuel.
According to ACP Murora Munana, Commissioner of the Automobile Inspection Department in Rwanda Police, says that the opening of branches in the province has improved the services a lot.
By then the car used to be a lot, and those who requested a service delayed. We used to work from morning up to late night, but yet the services were poor. But now we receive a certain number of cars that we are able to finish, and our center by then used to be full because of the vehicles were many.
Despite this, there is still a challenge for those who still need to get these services in Kigali because of the other services brought them, including the garages that are working nicely, and the Rwanda Police encouraged the private sector to bring services near in order to help those who live in province.
Those who need our services in the province do not reach on the level we want to serve them, but there are also others who do not get much services, such as garages and spare parts. We are asking people who work privately like PSF to encourage people to lower these services in the provinces.
According to data released by the Rwandan Police, 64,125 vehicles were inspected at all 4 technical control centers in 2021. 4,734 cars were inspected in Huye, 5,338 in Musanze, 8,291 in Rwamagana, and 44,382 in Kigali. Kigali received 15,948 fewer cars than it had previously. Nuriat Agasaro, RTV News.
Thank you, Nuriat. Now, the former cultivators of Pachuri and those who are still trying to grow the crop in Rusizi district are requesting the local leaders and those in charge to solve the issues found in its cultivation for it is to be productive. Now, leaders in Rusizi assure farmers that they are going to deal with it. Prince Manzi has this report.
In Bugarama Valley, where the Pachuri crops were planted, nothing shows that they have been there. For the past 10 years, citizens are cultivating other crops. However, there are some investors brought by the president to invest in the cultivation and sales of the Pachuri crop. Jean Dabarambier was in 2009 sent abroad to be trained on the preparation of Pachuri, as he explains.
2009, moi j'étais en France dans la formation. Ah oui.
In 2009, I was in France in a training. I was trained to make oil from Pachuri, also known as distillation. When you are done with distillation, you can now decantate the oil. After decantation, you now send the oil to the laboratory. Dabarambi started the cultivation and preparation process, but getting the market became an issue, as some of his fellow cultivators explained. What made us sad is that they told us that we are going to sell it on $3,000 and then they gave us 300 Rwandan francs. You know how heavy the plants are, and only one sack would give 3 kilograms, and you would get like 12,000 Rwandan francs only after ripping off the whole farm.
What will be better is for them to give us a fixed amount the Pachuri can be sold on for us to cultivate it.
When President Paul Kagame visited Rusizi district last week, he asked the local leaders what happened to the cultivation of the Pachuri crop.
Pachuri ni plant ngirango zikorwamo za perfume.
I think Pachuri is a plant used to make perfumes. A long time ago, like 20 years ago, I remember that there were some investors from Switzerland who came here They even asked to see me, and they told me they passed by Bugarama, and that patchouli from Bugarama is well known there in Switzerland. And they were telling me that they want to collaborate with Rwandans on how they could improve it. But I don't know how it ended. Do you know anything about that, leaders here in Rusizi? It is possible that none of you even know about it.
ibyo mwaba mubizi mwebwe abantu ba hafi hano ba Rusizi usanga ntawe ubizi.
It seemed that most of them forgot about it. The RBA team found patchouli in Gwimbogo sector, where farmers in Humuza Muhinzi Cooperative cultivated it together with banana and coffee. They still cultivated it, and they have a factory that they say they were given by the National Agricultural Export Development Board, even though they point out that it has some problems. Then we found that the oil we were supposed to get from those 7 tons and 61 kilograms is not what we actually got. We are requesting for an inspection to see if what we are accusing the factory is true, or if our products are not the one giving enough oil. The patchouli issue is still unresolved, as those in Bugarama say that they don't have the market, and those in Gwimbogo say that the issue is with the factory and say that the patchouli is still few compared to their market. The Vice Mayor of Rusizi District, in charge of economy, Louis Ndagijimana Munyemanzi, says that they are going to discuss and deal with this issue. The issue was that in the marketing of this crop, it was said that it would be sold on a higher price than what would be the actual selling price. It was terribly marketed. And what we are going to do is to discuss with the cultivators of the patchouli, because they are the ones knowing its selling price now, and also discuss with other partners like Naeb and others. We believe that by next season, the cultivators will be able to cultivate the crop again, and to those who won't be able, it is okay. We will partner with other farmers. Every 3 months, cultivators reap patchouli. After reaping, the patchouli leaves are transported to the factory that distills it and transports it to another factory in Kigali that produces perfumes from the distilled liquid. To get 1 kilogram of distilled liquid, it takes 100 leaves. In Gwimbogo, when patchouli was still being cultivated, the factory gave a farmer 300 Rwandan francs per 1 kilogram of dry leaves. And then the same factory collects the leaves to at least a ton before it starts to prepare it. 1 ton would give 10 kilograms of distilled liquid, and 1 kilogram of the liquid is sold 45,000 Rwandan francs. These cultivators say that they have now gained 20 million Rwandan francs since they began in 2013. Patchouli is planted in hot areas, but these farmers say that it's better when it's cultivated with other crops like coffee or banana. Prince Manzi, RTV News.
Female university graduates are going to begin 6 months professional internship in local government institutions, giving them skills they will need if ever they decide to work in local government. Adam Squizera has this report.
The Rwanda Association of Local Government Authorities, RALGA, in collaboration with the Ministry of Gender and Family Promotion, provided these professional internships of local government institutions for the female university graduates. This internship is in process of encouraging and preparing them to become future technical governors, where some of these girls says that to help them to implement and apply what they've studied on universities, as to help to expose them on the labor market.
Until the RALGA internship of 6 months, I'm gonna work with the local leaders so that we have to achieve the sustainable development goals, especially as environmental manager. I have to combat for the climate change. Not only that, as a digital champion and business coach in Digital Opportunity Trust, I'm gonna offer the entrepreneurship skills there to the young entrepreneurs in Gisagara district.
I will help the farmer who lives in Kamonyi district to plant their crops using irrigation system. In marshland, we use surface irrigation system. In upland, we will use pressurized irrigation system in order to increase our yield, to meet our market, also in order to increase GDP of our country.
The Secretary General of Rwanda Association of Local Government Authorities, Ngendahimana Ladislas, notes that this internship aims to bring confidence in those women and also contribute their role in local governance and administration through technical and directive positions.
We introduced these programs basing on the outcome of the elections and local government examinations, competitions. Our end objective is to prepare them and to make them confident that they can confidently and ably compete for technical and elective positions in local government. So we shall make a follow-up actions. We shall keep empowering and mentoring them as they shall be at work. We are working with the local governments and the ministry and the UN Women, but our end objective is to ensure that women can understand the working environment of local government so that they can confidently and ably compete for these technical and elective positions in local government.
The Director General of Equality Promotion and Women Empowerment in Misheprof, Cyrus Ngayabosha, points out that this internship will facilitate in closing gender gaps that are in local government institutions.
We need to bridge like a gap between the academic trainings and the workplace. And it also fits in the gap has been showed up that we don't have enough women and girls in local government structures, and also that we need girls down there to inspire a big number of girls at the grassroots level.
In this third edition, 120 women were selected from various universities and colleges, and they will be deployed in all districts across the country. This professional internship will take 6 months, and everyone who was selected will get 100,000 Rwandan francs for transportation and social life facilitations while performing their role in these duties. Adams Guizera, RTV News.
On behalf of the entire news production team, thank you so much for your company. I'm Jane Mutoni. Bye for now.